Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Welcome to the podcast
Oh,
again.
thank you for having me.
You're welcome. How are things over in Wisconsin this week?
um, I guess okay.
Okay.
So the Supreme Court overruled our Governor Evers with the stay-at-home extension. Um,
Awesome.
but then our mayor of the town, Racine, they overruled that
Oh,
and said that
goodness.
we still have to stay at home till May 26th.
That's ridiculous.
I know, and I guess our bosses, they're really scared that because we're planning to reopen June 1st,
Okay.
and they're scared they're gonna extend it again. But we're fuck it, we're just gonna open June 1st, regardless. Because I think if they extend it again past May 26th, just our mayor, the town is going to light up
Explode.
in flames. Yeah, people in Racine are crazy. So I'm I really they're nervous. They might, but I'm dude, I really don't think they're going to. I think the city will literally destroy itself.
Yeah, we
So,
just got extended until June 1st. Like there was some talks about one of the local gyms opening up this coming Monday.
mhm.
And then all of a sudden the other day, like yesterday, our governor decided that nope, nothing till June 1st. And I was like, all right, this is getting ridiculous. Like you could
Yeah,
stop.
I think June 1st is fine. It is another 2 weeks that kind of gives things a chance to do whatever, lower or whatnot. But even if it spikes again by June 1st, they just there's nothing we can do. They literally, the economy needs to reopen. They can't, you know?
Yeah.
I guess for me, I was talking to a few people, Painkiller, they're a brand I work with. I'm really good friends with them.
Okay.
They're from LA. They said gyms aren't they won't let gyms open till August, and all
That's
the gyms
insane.
are gonna close. They're all gonna close. I'm that's sad. That's literally insane. So I'm it's literally, I know this sounds terrible, but okay, think about all pandemics that have happened throughout history.
Yeah.
Like I think there was only one, I can't remember which one it is. I want to say polio, but I'm not sure, that they kept people away from one another, but majority of the time they just let it run its course. They're whatever, there's nothing we can do about it. The strong will survive. As
Yeah.
terrible as that is, but that's how they were back in throughout the decades. That's what they did. This is locking people down isn't gonna make it go away. And
No.
I don't think that's what I'm how do you I feel we've gotten, and I need to choose my wording carefully, but I also don't care because I speak my mind. I feel we've gotten more dumb throughout time.
For
You know what I
real.
mean? I'm man, it's just it's unfortunate with every pandemic. People die and it's sad and it sucks. But that's life. This is the
Yeah.
world that we live in, and there's gonna be viruses and there's gonna be shit that happens. But being scared and just being you can't go out. You can't do that. It's
Yeah.
not
Like I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast and he brought up the fact that the average age of people that die from this is older than the average age of death.
Yes. And that's what I'm dude,
Like, all right, we're all gonna survive. Well, all the healthy people anyways.
man, if I was 85 years old and this came out, and let's say I wasn't healthy, I'd be fuck it. This is my time to
I'm
go.
gonna go outside. You guys can't control
Yes,
my
I'm not
life.
gonna stay inside. Screw that. I'm gonna go out and live it up and whatever.
They have they have one of the seasons of the TV show Hoarders on Netflix now.
Okay.
And my wife and I started watching it last night. And it's about this old angry couple that live in this house that's just floor to ceiling full of random stuff.
Oh my God.
He cooks his breakfast in the bathroom on a stove on like a little hot pan, and like he's yelling at the cops for taking away his civil liberties to live like that. And I was like, well, good thing COVID wasn't around when this happened.
For real.
Like they'd and then like his son and daughter-in-law came over to like take everything out, and they all woke up one day and the mom was like not in the house anymore. She just like waddled away somewhere else. It's like,
Oh my
this
God.
is insane.
When I watch some shit, like even Tiger King, like I was like Blair started watching it, and I think I stepped in and started watching it about 3 seasons in because I had no idea what he was watching. And I literally sat down one day and I was like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, this is Tiger King. I was like, wait, is this real? Like people are really like this? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, what?
Yeah, I
I
started
had
watching.
no idea
It took me
that
like a week to get 3 episodes in because I was just so dumbfounded by how dumb
I
people
had
are.
no idea people like bought tigers and sold them and like rate. I'm like, this is what?
Yeah, and it's Oklahoma.
That's crazy. I was like, I did not know any of this existed. Like,
Yeah.
do I really live that much of a sheltered life, or do I just not like care to know about these people?
Yeah, like I have friends in Oklahoma, and I was really close to just texting them and be like, yo, have you been to this before? Because this is hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
have you met him? Because like this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like he turned 2 straight dudes gay.
I know.
Like so much power just
So
because he
much
has
power.
cats.
Joe Exotic is lit.
It's like my wife started watching it and she's just like, nope, I'm out. Like
Yeah.
not gonna watch it. It's
I
like
don't.
I don't know why I'm watching it. Like,
It's crazy.
yeah.
It's
So how
insane.
have you been, Rachel? How'd your
I,
journey get started to
um, so you sent me like the questions a little bit. So like, and I honestly like kind of looked over them, but I was like, I'll just answer on the fly because I kind of like to be more like real and not prepared. That's
unlike
like
Blair?
unlike, but yes, he's like, I need to write these. He's always like that. He's always very prepared in our relationship too, like work, everything, and fitness. And I am not. Like, I'm just like, wing it. Like, let's go. Like, so for example, before we get into this, like the whoop,
Yeah.
I bought one first. And he bought one maybe like 3 months after because he was like, that's stupid. And I was like, okay. And then like he bought it 3 months in, and what like maybe like 2 weeks after he got his, I was like, I'm done with this shit. So I like threw mine out. I was like, I'm so sick of someone telling me how I'm supposed to feel, like telling me like I didn't get enough sleep. I don't even know how it can tell I'm sleeping or not. I was like, I don't even like remember waking up and it's telling me I woke up this many times. And I'm like, I don't know. Like I'm just, and I have anxiety. So like my heart rate variability is like super low, like a lot
Okay.
lower than it should have been. So when my anxiety's high, it'll just tell me I'm constantly under recovered. And I'm like, well, I feel fine. Like this is like, it literally has it doesn't understand what someone with anxiety lives with. Like, I don't think it gets that. So I was like, I'm done with this shit. I'd rather just wake up and like go based off of feel and like wing it. And he's like, he still has this. He loves it. Like he sent me something this morning and I was like, babe, I don't care. Like, I don't agree with it, but like, I'm glad it works for you or like whatever. So he loves to be like very like prepared with everything. And I'm just like a tornado.
That's
Does that
hilarious.
make sense?
Yeah, like Blair came up in the conversation I was having with the guy last night, and the guy I interviewed last night went from like 480 pounds to like 200 and something now.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and he's very like not outgoing. So last night he's like, "Yeah, dude, I'm so nervous." And I was like, "That's all right. The guy I had on last week was super nervous too, and he crushed it." And he's like,
Yes.
"Yeah, okay." And I was like, "No, dude, you're fine." And then like as soon as the podcast ended, like I got a FaceTime call from him and he's like freaking out. He's like, "Oh my gosh, did that go well?" I was like, "Yeah, it's fine." And he's like, "Well, I saw the one that happened like with Blair last week and he seemed so confident." I was like, "You missed the behind the scenes, man. He was a nervous wreck just like you, so you're fine."
He was. He's like, oh my God, I've never been on a podcast. I don't know what to do. And I'm like, babe, just be yourself. He's like, I can't talk. I'm like, you're talking right now. You'll be fine.
You'll be okay, Blair.
Oh, he's great though. We balance each other out like very well.
Yeah, I'm definitely the outgoing super like I hate not being able to like go to work every day.
I agree. And I honestly, like, I am an introvert in a way because like I get super anxious and sometimes like being around people so much is like draining in a
Okay.
way.
Yeah.
But like I thrive off of people. Like
Yeah.
I always have like conversation and like helping people and the emotional like I thrive off of it. I love it. It's my thing. So like I hate that I can't coach in person right now. Like I want to
S-
die.
Same. I haven't coached a class in a month and a half. And I was
Not
like,
even like 2 months.
yeah, I was like, I just got my level 2 and I can't use it.
That sucks.
But they're planning on opening here June 1st. And I'm just like just blasting it to all the gyms. It's like, I'm a free agent. I have nothing to do.
Yes.
Hire me.
Yes. Hire me now.
Like now, like I go to Target and Hy-Vee just to get like human interaction.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Like like I'll go to the store for like two things and I'll wait in line so I don't do self checkout just so I can like chit chat with the checkout person for like 30 seconds.
Dude, yeah. Some people just they have to do that kind of stuff. And I'm happy, like I still get to train at the gym. So I still have Blair, Dave, and Corian every day. But
Yeah.
like like members have been randomly stopping in to like give us something or whatever. And I'm like, just stay here. Just stay and talk a little longer.
Just stay here but like back up like across the mat and then you're fine.
Yeah, for
Isn't
real.
it great that most like floor mats in gyms are 6 feet long so then you can just like, all right,
Yeah,
everyone's here.
it's perfect.
Everyone gets a mat. Do not move.
One mat. This is your square. This is your home now.
Yeah, Tony, the guy that owns Timberwolf in St. Paul, posted on his Instagram story that they had like tape markings, and every person that came to the gyms had to stay in their square.
That's what we're gonna
Everyone
do.
like got their own bench to put their stuff on.
Yep.
Everyone got their own chalk bucket, and it's like that's genius.
That's what we're doing too. We just ordered a bunch of extra stuff. Like everyone gets their own spray bottle, like everything. We're like kind of planning for it, but like we'll set up the squares every night based off of the workout the next day. So all the equipment will be in there. So no one has to like walk around and like
Awesome.
interact. Yeah, it's gonna be
It's like
annoying, but
herding cats, but on an
yes.
extra level.
I was like, you know what? I think I kind of like this though, because my classes, I swear to God, I'm like, all right, go grab a barbell. And there's always like three that are just like, they disappear. I'm like, where the
Yeah,
hell are you? I'll be like, where's Matt? Does anyone know where Matt is? Matt! I'm like yelling. Like you have to like, there's always three of them that
same.
like disappear. So at least this way, I'm like, you are all mine. I make you do what I want now.
Yeah, like there's only one class a day that was like more than 5 people.
Mhm.
And that class, like, I'd be talking at the whiteboard, and then I'd be like, all right, guys, I'm going to write up the warm up in like big, bold letters now so you don't have to ask me. And then I turn around and like 3 people are missing from class. And it's like,
Yep.
where'd you guys go? Like, this is important stuff.
Yeah, we have everything preset on ours the day before. So it's already set and written. Like my 6 o'clock has pretty much 20 people every day.
That's awesome.
So it's a lot. And like they are an amazing group because they're just so like live and like just awesome and funny. But sometimes I want to rip my hair out because they get on tangents and I'm like, all right, we really need to like focus
Yeah.
right
Like,
now. Come on.
calm down, Karen. You can talk to them afterwards.
I catch myself standing on like benches and boxes just to be heard because I'm so tiny.
Yeah.
So like I'll just stand up and just start yelling. And then they're like, all right, she's serious. We gotta listen now.
Yeah. I'm over 6 feet tall and I would still do that. It's just like, guys, stop talking.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
I'm
funny.
up here. Like I used to coach when I coached in Mankato, like those classes were huge. And like every 8:30 class was all the stay-at-home moms or the moms that like worked from home or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd be like talking about like the daily regimen or whatever we were going to do that day. And like while I'm talking, like 2 or 3 of them would like just start up a random conversation.
Yep.
And everyone else would just kind of like look confused. So I'd stop talking, give it 30 seconds, and then call one of their names. And they're like, oh, yeah, sorry. It's like,
Yep. It's usually
guys,
how it goes.
stop.
Great. I miss it.
I can't wait for June 1st or August or whenever it happens.
June 1st for us. I will not settle for anything later.
That's awesome. Yeah, my parents invited us because they still live in Wisconsin, and they're like, "We're open. Come home for Memorial Day weekend." And we're like, "On our way. We're coming."
Yes. That's
But
awesome.
so, how'd you get started, Rachel? Your journey to fitness, head coaching a gym, all that good stuff.
Dude, I like think about this all the time and I'm like, I can't believe my life is here. And it was so random and I don't even know what my life would be like if I never got into CrossFit, but I I was like kind of going through some life shit at the time and just needed like a change. And my one friend that I worked with, she was like, you should definitely come try CrossFit. Like you were a gymnast and everything. And I was like, you know how like you hear this, I bodybuild it. So like, you know how you hear the stereotypes of like CrossFit? I was like, no,
Yeah.
fuck that. Like I'm never doing that shit. And then she's like, there, it's a free week. Like you literally can just try it for a week. And then if you don't like it, like you don't have to do it. And I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll just try it. Like, why not? So I went and I like the first day, I went, it's called Venomous CrossFit. It's in Pennsylvania. And I
Okay.
walked in and it was, now they're called like Two Pillars or something. They switched their gyms, but at the time it was Venomous and Mark and Christian owned it. And I walked in and Mark was like, they were doing like handstands that day and it was like handstand push-ups. And he's like, do you know what a handstand is? And I was like, oh man, do I ever? Cause I was a gymnast and like, that's just my jam. And I was like, what is this shit? Like, and I had no idea they did handstand stuff or like anything like that. And like, literally that was it. I was hooked like immediately.
That's awesome.
And I just kept going and ended up signing up and just thrived there. And then I moved and went to a different gym and then moved back. It was like an interesting journey. And then while I was at one of the gym, it was like maybe, I want to say like 2 years, a year and a half into CrossFit. I was like, I feel like I could be good at this. Like maybe I could actually be good at this thing. And when I was a gymnast, I was super competitive and one of the best in the country. So like I thrive off competition. Like that's my jam. And I got hurt, so it got like taken away from me. And I was like, this could be like my second chance at like just being able to compete again, you know, and getting that like kind of itch I felt like I've lost for so long. So that's me and Blair were like friends on Instagram for quite some time. And he like reached out to me randomly and was like asking me for handstand help just because I coach gymnastics and everything. And
Okay.
that's like my jam. So I helped him. And then like we became friends from that point on. And then like a year and a half, almost 2 years into CrossFit, that's when I was like, wow, I can be good at this, I think. So, but I was like, man, I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. Like I didn't have a coach. I just went in and like did whatever Mark was doing. And like my engine work, like my aerobic capacity was trash. Like I would die in any cardio, but I was always super strong and like good at gymnastic stuff. So I was like, I feel like I need to get a personal coach to like help me. So I hired Blair
There you go.
and then he coached me for the past 2 years.
Okay.
And during that time, it was like a year into him coaching me or like, yeah, like no, maybe like 8 months into him coaching me or whatever. I came up here for the CrossFit Games and just went to train with him and like met everyone at Harbor Park. And I like fell in love with like the gym, Corey and Dave, just like everything they kind of did as a gym was like everything I wanted to be around. And like, they were just so, what's the word I'm looking for? Professional, you know,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
they like cared so much about just their members and just everything. And I was like, man, I love this. Like, this is so different than what I'm used to. Because Pennsylvania's a very, like the town I was in is very small.
Yep.
So like more so, I want to say the gym was more like competitive and like not based off of health to be
Okay.
like, you know, whereas Harbor Park is very like health oriented. Like, yes, there's competitive people there and everyone's competitive, but health and wellness comes first. And I was like, I love this, like, because this is what makes people live long lives. And, you know, like, so once that happened, the rest was kind of like history. Me and Blair realized we had like a deeper connection than we thought. So went against the rule book and started dating my coach.
There you go.
Yeah. So then after that, we just planned on me moving up here because I felt like I had more of an opportunity to be successful in coaching and advance up here than I would have in my smaller town of Pennsylvania. And I obviously wanted to be with him. And I
Yeah.
was over Pencil. I was like, I need to be somewhere new, man. Like, I need to get out of here. I had a shitty childhood and just a lot of traumatic experiences growing up. So I felt like in order for me to grow, I needed to not escape, but just leave that kind of area that I had so many traumatic memories in and just kind of like regrow myself. So moved up here the end of 2019, I think, no, 2018. And it was like right after Christmas. So like
Okay.
literally like the beginning of 2019. I moved up here and I interned through Harbor Park and then got my L1 and then got hired
There you go.
and just continued to better myself. I'm constantly trying to learn and gain more knowledge, and like I care so much about our members and our community, and I freaking love my gym so much. I can't even explain it. So recently, they like about 3 weeks ago, they asked me to be head coach. And
That's
I was
awesome.
like, holy shit. Like I couldn't even believe it, but I was super excited. So now I get to do the gym's programming, and I started my own remote coaching a few months ago, or maybe like 6 months ago or so. And that's been thriving, and oh my God, I love it so much. And seeing and being able to improve people and help them like reach their goals is just awesome. You know, I've built such a huge relationship. I only take on about 6 to 7 clients at once because I'm a firm believer in not overbooking myself.
Yeah.
And I literally can only handle 7 clients at once right now because I want to give them that connection. I check in with them every day they put in programming. They constantly have contact, like to text me. I give them personal videos of me if I want them to fix something on the weekends so that they can change stuff. Like I'm very, very personal with my programming. So I refuse to ever take on more than I can handle just for money, you
Yeah.
know? So I want to be a good coach. I don't want to be a half-assed coach.
That's
So I
awesome.
have a waiting list, and there's a lot of people on that, but that's just how I want to do things. And I thoroughly enjoy it a lot. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. And I think Blair is actually no longer my coach. We stopped, I don't want to say I fired him, but it was very hard to make it work with our relationship.
Yeah.
Um, we tried, we're like, we can do it, you know, but I think in his defense, it's really hard for him to focus solely on himself and me at the same time. So
Makes
like we have
sense.
this same goal. We both want to make sanctionals. We both want to make the CrossFit Games, and he's in it. Like he just made his sanctionals this year. So
Yeah.
like he kind of needs to be selfish. And I feel like because I was his girlfriend, he like pushed my stuff to the side
Hmm.
over other people. And I'm like, I get it, but I feel like I need to like go elsewhere. I need more. And in order to salvage our relationship, I don't feel like we should put the pressure of you being my coach on it as well. Cause I was just getting mad, you
Yeah.
know, like it was just not working. And he got me to where I am today, and I'm forever thankful for that. But everyone grows and evolves, and we kind of have to make those hard decisions to be better. So the last few months I've been kind of lost, not knowing what I've wanted to do.
Okay.
um I've been doing like my own gymnastics stuff. I've been following CompTrain a little bit and doing things like that. But yesterday I made the decision to hire Mr. Mike Vespa
There
as
you go.
my head and full-time coach. Yes, I just been working really hard to save and make sure I could afford it.
Yeah.
And just my biggest goal prior to this, the last few months, is not that I didn't. I think I always knew I wanted to work with Mike. It was just I wanted to get some bills that I had built up down first,
Mm-hmm.
like just like to be comfortable. And I'm finally in a very good, comfortable financial situation, knock on wood. So now I'm like, all right, now I will give myself and let myself have the things that I wanted to. But I think I knew I wanted to work with Mike since the Dakota Games.
Okay. Okay.
He was like so supportive, and I'm a very needy athlete. So like my dream is like, for me, for my visual, like I need a coach that is going to come to all my competitions, push me, give a shit about me, check in with me. Like, you know what I mean? Like I want that like coach athlete relationship
Yeah.
where like if I make a sanctionals, Mike's like, I'm there. Like, and he is like that. And like in the Dakota Games, like when I was like we were doing an event, all I could hear was him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like constantly talking strategy. And like, I didn't do too well in one event. I like tanked. My body just was like, fuck you. And just like did not want to push. And he like pulled me aside afterwards because I wasn't saying anything, but he knew. Like he's like, I could tell on your face, like you're disappointed. Why? And he like took me to the side and like really brought me out of like the rut I was in. And like I remember I would look for him in the stands and like he would always be there. And I was
Yeah.
like, man, like that's what I need. And I think from that point forward, I knew like he was someone I wanted to work with. But at the time I was still working with Blair and trying to find a way to have that awkward conversation of like, this isn't working because I didn't want to hurt Blair's feelings either, you
Yeah.
know? And like, I think I still had that, like, we can make it work. Like it will work. But like, I knew it wouldn't at the same time. And then, like I said, I've just been playing around. Not that I didn't want to work with Mike right off the gate, the get-go, but I think I just needed like a few months of just doing whatever the fuck I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
I was like, I just want to do Metcons every day. That's all I want to do. Like, I never do Metcons. I just want to do Metcons. Well, doing Metcons every day has made me feel like elephants have stampeded over my body.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, all right, we're getting to the point of where like, I'm ready. I'm ready to like really like, I'm gearing up for the open. Now's the time to like take on a coach and get super serious about this next year and 2021, especially because like all the sanctionals were canceled. So I think that's why I'm like, well, I can just mess around for a few months and
Yeah.
kind of see what it is. What does Rachel want? Like, what do I actually want, you know? So yeah, so me and Mike have a meeting Saturday and next Monday we'll start. I mean, he was just giving me monostructural work the past 2 weeks.
Yep.
And I have literally have not enjoyed training so much than I have the last, like for his pieces. And they're really hard,
Yeah,
but
they are.
they're really hard, but they put like, I do them and I'm like, shit, okay. Like I am capable. So like I really like yesterday he gave me 100, I had to do like 12,000 meters on the bike erg and 100 devil's press.
Yeah, I saw that. That's insane.
And I had so much fun. I mean, my body hates me today, but it was super, I was like, wow, this is going to be fun. So yeah. So after that piece yesterday, I was like, all right, I need him to do everything for me. So
Yeah, I used to, when I lived in Florida, I met Michael at Game Day Eau Claire 4 years ago, and then I moved to Florida. And like, I was just scrolling on Instagram one day, and I saw like Game Day posted something about the brick, and I was like, oh, what's this? And I was like, oh, it's Michael. I was like, oh, this is cool. So like, I checked out Game Day's website, and it was like Game Day, like athlete program provided by the brick, and I was like, oh, hey, I know who Michael is. And so like I started it the next day and I was like, oh, this will be fun. And then like the first workout was like a 10-minute EMOM of 5 burpees and a 10-calorie bike every minute for 10 minutes. And I was like, this is awful.
yeah,
And then like there's one day where he programmed a 5K row, a 12K bike, and a 5K run for time. And I was like, I'm in Florida. It's 100 degrees outside. I still can't run very well yet. I'm going to do a 5K row, a 12K bike, and a 5K row. And then I texted him and I was like, that was so bad. And then after I moved to Mankato, I stopped following that and just started following Cato CrossFit's programming. And then now, then after like switching programs a bunch of times, I finally, of September 2 years ago, I reached out to Michael and I was like, hey man, I just want to let you know I want you to be my coach if that's okay. And he was like, yeah, I'll schedule a call. We talked, and then like since I've been home, like I have zero equipment besides like some like elastic bands and an ab mat. But like before I lost all my equipment, like it was like, all right, you're gonna do this, and then you're gonna do 500 meters on the rower, and I was like, awesome. And then the next week it's like you're gonna do 9 500s, and I was like, all right, because I was like, I have a rower, I might as well use it. Like back when I started CrossFit, I couldn't run very well, like at all. So
Mhm.
anytime there was a running workout, I had to row it. So I got real sick of rowing real fast. And now I'm just like, fine, I'll row. It's okay.
But you probably
And
got badass at rowing.
I was like, I hate rowing. I hate rowing. Okay, I'm fine. It's not hard. I'll just do it. I was like, this is
Yeah.
time consuming, but you got to do it. But anyways, what are some of your like big future plans now that you're head coach, you have all this time to train at Harbor Park, which is awesome. And then, Michael as your new coach. What sanctionals are you planning on doing? Stuff
Oh,
like that.
well, I have to make one first.
What sanctionals are you planning on making?
I have no fucking idea.
Okay.
um, but I think my main goal right now is to actually do the open and sign up for sanctionals through the open.
Okay.
So try and make some through that. See how
Okay.
that goes this year. And then if I don't make any or whatever happens, or if I do, then focus on the rest of the year. I was like, okay, what other sanctionals can I qualify for or try to qualify for? And then kind of do that. I'm super excited. I'm like really excited to have Mike because I feel like he's going to put me in the direction of like, all right, you're going to sign up for this qualifier, this qualifier, this qualifier, and so on. And like, I need that. Like I literally need someone to be like, this is what you're going to do. You're doing it. And I feel like all I did was follow Blair's shadow kind
Okay.
of for the last year and a half. I've really only been competitive for 2 years
Yeah.
with CrossFit. So I feel like in those 2 years, I have done nothing but follow his footsteps. And I'm super excited to just have something new and have Mike be like, no, this is what you're going to do. This is your journey. You're going to do this. And like, if Blair does a sanctional and I don't, like, that's fine. Like, I would much rather like go support Blair at a sanctional and not compete, and
Yeah.
then have like me compete and him support me. I feel like that would be so much better. And like, if we do both make the same sanctional, awesome. Like, that's great. But I'm excited to kind of have, I feel like Michael's going to help me kind of plan this year out a lot better than last year. And I'm super excited about that. So yeah, so I honestly have no idea.
Okay.
I'm gonna definitely do the open and try and make stuff through that, and then game plan from there. And as for like head coaching, now that I have this position, I just really want to learn more. So Dave and Corian have paid for like a few courses for me to take on CrossFit.com. So like
Okay.
simple things like scaling, programming, like things like that, just to learn a little more. Like I feel like there's no, and like, I'm not just going to be like, well, I'm head coach now, I know everything. Like, this makes me want to learn so much more. So I think like those small classes, and then by next summer, I do want to have my L2. So I want to do that. But honestly, right now, like, I would go get it tomorrow if I could, but
Yeah.
the fact that everything's closed down, I'm just kind of waiting. So I'm hoping by next summer I could go and take the L2 course and get that. So those are definitely my year. I like to do yearly plans. So those are my yearly plans. Take a few more courses on CrossFit.com, get my L2. I'm also going to do the Kelly Starrett. It's like a mobility course,
Yeah.
just to learn a little more about like the body. So I'm going to take that too. And yeah, that's my year plan with coaching. And as for my year plan with fitness, that's all up to Mike.
Awesome.
I am in his hands.
Have you read Kelly Starrett's Becoming a Supple Leopard book?
I have not. Blair has it, but I
Okay.
definitely want to.
Okay.
That's in the plan.
Yeah, so read the first one and then definitely read like the second version of it, because the second version goes into more detail on stuff.
Mhm.
Like my coach, my like original coach back in Wisconsin, like showed it to me the first like few days I did CrossFit, and then I went and bought it and read it cover to cover, and I was like, oh, hey, this guy's really smart. And then one of the other guys that went to the gym when the second version got released let me borrow it, and I read it in like 3 days, and I was like, this is like a textbook, but for like getting flexible. This is fantastic. But
Yes, I will definitely read those for sure.
now, what lessons have you learned along the way that you could share that could help somebody that maybe they're struggling right now, trying to figure out what their plans are, what they want to do, especially now that like a lot of people are working from home? I've talked a lot about this with other people. Like now is like the time to like work on yourself and get better, because even if you're working from home, that cuts out your commute to and from work every day and gives people at least an hour or so more than they had to like do things. What would you say you've learned from your experiences for this?
Um, I mean, I feel like with anything in life, just like follow what your gut wants to do. Um, the minute I came up here to visit, I knew like I was supposed to be here. And I feel like the time is now. Like it's never later. Like I think the one thing I always hear from people is like, well, if I'm just gonna wait till next year. Like today, it's not the right time. Well, I'm gonna buy a house. Like I just probably shouldn't do it. But like, why? Why can't you do it all? So like I feel like you should never set a limitation on yourself. And if you want it, you need to go get it. And nothing is going to be handed to you ever. Like I have been dealt some pretty shitty cards in my life and never of course there was a point in time where I was like, poor me, this sucks, like my
Yeah.
life is shit, blah blah blah. But like my life was shit because I was letting it be shitty. The second I like took like the reins of the horse and was like, no, I'm going to make my life great. And it doesn't matter who tells me I can't, because I'm going to. And you just can't let anyone kind of get in your way, because the first thing people who are scared to try things themselves, they're gonna be like, you can't do that. And like, you can't listen to other people. You just need to listen to yourself and do things for yourself. Um, you just gotta go for like life is what you make it. And you can do anything you set your mind to. And you can't tell like no and like no one's gonna tell you can't do it. You
Yeah.
can't be scared. You can't let being scared like lead like, man, you gotta take risks are scary, but they're so worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like bungee jumping or hang gliding, right? You
Yeah,
just
man,
jump out and it's fun.
just do it. Just
Just,
you just gotta do it. I can't, like, I tell people all the time, I was like, dude, I almost shit myself when I was like an hour into my 14-hour drive halfway across the country to Wisconsin. Like I was like, oh my fucking God, what am I doing? Like I was literally freaking out.
yeah.
But I just kept going. I was like, fuck it. You'll figure it out. Like you will figure it out. And I did. Like once I freaking came here, it was just constant growth, constantly working for what I wanted. And now I have it. I have what I want.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. This
Sure.
was Blair's favorite question. What books would you recommend
Of course, this is
for
Blair's
people to
favorite
read?
question. God.
he,
Um,
he pulled his notebook out and everything for this one.
yeah, he loves it. So I'm a big Audible person because I have no fucking time to sit down and read a book.
Yeah.
And the time I do have time to sit down, it's to program or do my online classes or God, whatever, check in with my athletes. So for me, I personally enjoy listening to books in the morning while I'm cooking breakfast or driving, or if I'm warming up at the gym, like that's when I kind of do, or like cooling down, that's when I kind of listen. So chop wood, carry water, and I'm sure Blair said the same thing.
Yep.
Favorite book. I think that was like the biggest book for me that was like, stop fucking being so hard on yourself, because I'm an asshole to myself sometimes, especially with fitness. And if I'm not like the best, or if I don't do what I think I can. So like that was like the best book. I've listened to it like 6 times.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just keep listening. And it's short, so it doesn't, and it's just so good. So anytime I get down on myself or hard on myself with where I'm at in my journey, I listen to that. I'm also listening to Katrin David's book right now on
Okay.
how she became the fittest on earth, and it's very good. I was like, her first chapter, I was like hooked. So that's pretty cool to kind of hear her background a little bit and like where she came from. So for like ladies out there who want to be, I definitely suggest that one, because she's a pretty rad person. Um, what else do we got here? I'm going to go off of the lines of fitness and say any Rachel Hollis book
Okay.
is amazing. She's an amazing motivational speaker, and she kind of like same thing, just took the reins of the horse and like made her life what it is and worked so hard for the longest time. So love her stuff. She's so real. Like she just talks about how like life sucks sometimes, and like
Yeah.
she's just, God, she's so honest and vulnerable, and you're just like, oh shit, like, she didn't have a great life. She went through a bunch of shit and look where she's at today. So like she has great books, and Brene Brown is obviously amazing for like anxiety and like kind of mental health type ideas too. So I say any book by her or Audible as well
That's
is
awesome.
really good. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Rachel. This has been an absolute pleasure. It was fun getting to chit chat and learn your story.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anything else you want to tell the people? Where can they find you? Instagram, Twitter, if you have a Twitter.
No Twitter,
No
definitely not
Twitter.
Twitter.
Okay.
Just Instagram, I guess. My username is _ RAYCHKAY.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
See all
thank you
my
so
fun
much.
shenanigans on there.
Yeah, all the shenanigans, all
All
of
the
Blair.
shenanigans. Yes, all the Blair. Me yelling at him yesterday. It was great.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, the tables have turned. I'm his coach now for his
That's
gymnastics stuff.
Blair, get on your hands. What are you doing?